Brian, you're fairly expert in this kind of situation. When you have that kind of feeling for somebody else that you're locked in a reality TV show with, what should you do?
I think you played it quite right. I think if you're there to try to be the best person you can be, and I've gone through it myself, if you don't particularly like someone, you're better off actually not communicating with them. But I think what you shouldn't have done was what you said at the end. I think that's the one thing I remember thinking, my God, this girl's a total bitch. Clearly you're not. But from the end of that, you just think, you probably should have walked away with your head held high and just went. But I can imagine in that situation, you're angry. You've left, so you kind of want to slap it to her.
Yeah,
and you did.
I do regret letting out that rant. It's just because you're full up, like you're just.
Well, you did so well. You did so well to keep it in for all those weeks and stay away from her. Then at the last, that's the last clip they have of you, as you going.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the people that you didn't get on with, the people that you did get on with.
Well, I got on Niamh MacDonald.
Niamh MacDonald, blah, blah, blah. So, Kieran and Jamie.
Yeah.
When Niamh Humphreys was with us, she mentioned hand massages.
Yes. Well, we did have hand massages.
Right.
It was a bartering service. I would go and maybe make a sandwich and somebody would give you a hand massage in exchange. It wasn't...
How do you strike that deal? Fancy a sandwich? Give me a hand massage.
Thank God it was just a hand massage. Where are we going with this?
It was only a sandwich. Wait till we get the three-course meal.
I like it.
No, you'd come home after the task and you'd be absolutely shattered. You'd sit down. It was a case of maybe a 2-minute hand massage or something out of the course of an entire duration of an evening.
My dirty mind is working overtime, Caroline.
It wasn't like we sat around
naked,
like doing those kind of things.
Having sex all the time.
It was just, I'd be kind of, I suppose, an affectionate person anyway, regardless of...
And was this with Jamie, with Kieran, or with Jamie and Kieran?
What are you trying to
Holy
say?
water is required.
I don't know.
Just when you watch the episode, you get a sense that there is a closeness between you and Kieran and Jamie.
We were definitely close. But I think we clicked so early on in the process that as the weeks got on, when you're living with these people, you're in each other's pockets every day, so you become very close to people. So a friendship that you could have on the outside world kind of just progresses faster inside, I think.
True. In those confined situations when you like someone,
you
really like them because you can't have contact with your friends and family, and you need people that aren't going to stab you in the back as well, so you actually do form alliances quite quickly in those situations.
Yeah, but hang on a minute, Brian. If we put you into that house and we discovered that you were bartering sandwiches for hand massages from Will, we wouldn't say that's just a friendship.
Will wouldn't need no sandwich to come near me. He can have all of this anywhere, anytime he wants.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get that right.
Well, one of the downsides of having you leave, Caroline, is going to be that we won't be able to do the montages of you and Jamie and Kieran that we enjoyed so much. So here is the last one that we will ever see. It's the last episode of The Apprentices.
I think Caroline's a great girl. If anything, I'm just going to work that bit harder, you know, to really help her out here. And Jamie's the exact same. The three of us are quite cliquey, you know, in the house.
I think Caroline isn't a natural-born leader.
I'd have to disagree 100% with Tara. I thought Caroline was brilliant, you know.
I did as much pitching as I could to people.
I'll back Caroline up 100% what she's saying. I think just because she didn't sell doesn't reflect on her input.
Kieran, you have been misleading me. You're fired. The team seems to have lost faith in you. You're fired.
Well, at the end of that, you will see that Dave Cashman sort of whispers something across to Jamie when they get out of the cars. We have played it back and played it back and played it back to try to figure out what exactly it is that he's saying. We can't work it out. If any of you are good lip readers, maybe you might send a postcard to Anton at the right venue and we'll put on air what it was that Dave Cashman said. It is time now, guys, for you to earn your keep, because we are going to throw it open to democracy to see whether or not you believe that Caroline should be sitting here or whether or not she should still be in fighting for a chance to be Bill's apprentice. So if you think she shouldn't have been let go, show us the green, hired. If you think she should have, show us the red, fired. Let's see the cards, folks. Oh, that's overwhelming. Caroline, you pleased?
Thank you, guys. Yeah. That's brilliant, yeah.
That's the biggest single vote of confidence that any... Oh, Brian, why so popular?
I don't know why. No, I'm joking. You're still fired, though, Caroline. Yeah. Just in case. It's really weird. You've got lots of friends and family in here. No, I mean, I think from watching it, I think in my mind it was the power drill task. I think, and the fact that Kieran didn't bring you back. If Kieran had brought you back in, potentially, and you earned, because you probably would have stayed, he would have went anyway, then I think you wouldn't be here. I think it's because of what happened with the power tools. That's why you went this week.
I think I was in as much shock when he didn't call my name out that time in the boardroom. I thought it would be myself and Tara and Kieran. And he said it, I actually was just like, and I think I closed my eyes because I was like, I'm going to feel the wrath of this when I go home. And I knew I was going to get it from the other candidates.
But I also think that Kieran in there thinks he stood a chance with you. I think, maybe in a kind of fancying each other kind of way. But I think in the real world, if you met him in a bar, you'd be like, He didn't realise that. But I think in there he's like, oh God, you know, if I keep her in, she'll share my bed with me. You know, who knows?
If I keep her in and give her a sandwich?
Right, literally, yes. But I think on a night out at the right venue, you're like, get out of my face.
Caroline, whatever about Kieran and Jamie, would you do it again if you had the chance?
Yeah, I would do it again. I would think longer and harder about doing it. Sometimes I waver between should I, you know, would I? But I think, yeah, I've had a positive experience. I think I've learned a lot from it, and it was tough, but I mean, I'll take all the good that came out of it and what I've learned about myself, I think.
Well, before we wrap up, folks, here, and for you as well, Caroline, here are Caroline's highlights.
I'd like to kind of take a cue from somebody else on the calls.
I'm not the salesperson. Could you do one phone call?
But I'm not comfortable with doing that. Because
I could be underestimated because of my lack of business experience, but I would probably strive on that.
Well, I'll ring these, right?
I'm going to appoint Caroline as the project manager for Fusion.
The second that Bill said Caroline, I actually just like, I could have a heart attack.
I've never failed an exam or a test in my life, and I definitely don't intend on starting now.
You are this week's winner.
Yes! I'm going to allow our billboard to do all the talking, and believe me, it speaks for itself.
I like it. I'm really happy. I'm excited. I won't step. I will. Oh, sorry. This is awful.
A very likeable girl, and you can establish empathy and rapport with people, which is a special talent.
Thank you, Bill.
Caroline, as you know, nobody leaves here empty-handed. We were slightly worried that loneliness might be overwhelming you. So for those moments when they're not actually physically with you, we got you that. Pride of place on the mantelpiece?
Oh, beside my bed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Caroline McHugh.
Thank you.
And my thanks as well to my guests, Leo Donovan from We Ireland, Terry Buckley from Adshell, and Mr. Brian Dowling.
Can I get one of those of Will?
Stripped to the waist.
I want a picture of Will, yeah.
Well, while we pat Brian down over his thoughts of Will, next week looks like this.
Yeah, that's it.
There's no doubt that this is a fun task.
We do a tenner. 15 quid. 12. 15. 12 and shaking.
I can't move my neck. I need to cut my head off.
An 11-month calendar. Christmas vanished.
Do not put this on me, Sarah. You are lying, and it's the most unprofessional thing.
You're fired.
Well, apprentices let loose at music festivals as if we needed more encouragement for them. You can get the main event 9 p.m. on TV3, and you can come join us at 10:20 straight afterwards. Until next week, bye-bye.
And to find out what happens when the boardroom cameras switch off, then turn over to 3E right now for The Apprentice at Home.
With anybody making a personal comment about me, God knows I was slagging absolutely everybody in the house, but when the comments turned to a bit of a nasty nature and brought my family into it,